Hi guys, this is Diane Hogarth here, Millionaire Mom. I've got somebody exciting for you to meet. Now, I've got up at 6:30 to meet this lovely mad lady, and we've had so much trouble getting online. So anyway, we meet at last, and I'd like to introduce you to Paula-Maree Roberts in Australia. And she is a top affiliate marketer, and we'd love to know, she's a specialist in product launches. So she's going to tell us her story and how to do an amazing product launch and actually get real life sales. Over to you, Paula-Maree.
Yes, thanks, Diane. And thank you so much for getting up so early this morning to meet with me. Obviously, we're in opposite sort of like time zones. I think I'm like 9 hours ahead. So I'm living in the future here.
Back to the future.
Cool. Yeah. Well, my journey online actually only started probably about a year and a half ago. So a year and a half ago, I actually decided to quit my job. I'd been a retail manager for about going on 7 years, was working like insane hours, like about 70 hours a week. It was just horrible. And the kids had said to me on a few different occasions, Mum, we think you love your job more than you love me or love us, sort of thing. And my husband was constantly moaning, and then something happened, it was kind of like the last straw. Was like, I mean, if I want to actually have a little bit more freedom to spend time with my family and stuff, I need to make a few choices. So I decided to quit my job. Before I quit my job, I actually did a little bit of research, and I started like importing some products, and I thought I would sell products, physical products. And then obviously, like everybody else, we all got stuck in this bloody terrible, excuse my language, terrible, because that's how bad it is, right? Let's be real here. COVID just sucks so bad. It's been a bit of a challenge. So then I had all these products, right? I've still got them, and I've got them in a few shops, but the shops are closed here because we're in lockdown in Melbourne. It's just horrendous. And so I thought to myself, okay, I've got to try something else. And at the time I was thinking, oh, well, I'll just do a website and I'll sell the products through that. And then I was like, couldn't work out how to do search engine optimization. And then I kind of like stumbled into affiliate marketing because I was trying to work how to do search engine optimization, believe it or not. And so then I bought a course, right, called Six Figure Mentors, which I don't know, many of you maybe already know about that or have been in that course, because they have like, hundreds of thousands of people go through that course, right? And it is a great course. But again, here I am sinking like thousands of dollars into this course, right? Because it's a high ticket course. It starts low and then you sort of like upsell yourself. And so I was like, yep, this is me. This feels right. I'm going to do it. And then I couldn't actually work out how to do stuff, because there wasn't anybody who's done Six Figure Mentors or been involved in it will know that there's no step-by-step guide. And I need step 1, you do this, implement. Step 2, you do this, implement. I need I could be dumb, I don't know. But that's how I operate. I need a guide, So I don't know if you're the same as me, Diane, but that's what I'm like.
Yes, I need a step-by-step guide, because if there's just a sea of knowledge, you go, which one do I do first? And you try a little bit of that and a little bit of that, and you get nowhere.
Yes, it was very overwhelming. And I was sort of like living in the end of like thinking about the end result, rushing through stuff, not really knowing what I was doing, and making a real pickle of it. Probably, people can sort of like understand how that can happen.
Everybody does that.
You get so hungry to like want to earn the money. You kind of want to get there like really quickly. And then I'm like, I don't have a guide, so I'll just wing this and I'll wing that. And I made so many mistakes. Anyway, needless to say, after like 6 months, I had made $0 and spent tens of thousands of dollars. I'm not going to even say the amount. Like, if my husband overhears, he'll probably want to kill me. And then I was like, oh my God, I was feeling a bit knotted up inside. And then like other people too, like I ended up on YouTube and I ended up watching Ministry of Freedom, like John O. Armstrong, right? I don't know if you know him, but he's a seven-figure affiliate and an incredible mentor. And so I kind of connected with him, and I just knew in my heart, I was like, okay, here I am again, getting out my credit card, paying thousands of dollars for another course, but I thought, nah, something tells me that this is the one, And so I did, got my credit card out, paid for that course, got stuck in, and lo and behold, it was step by step, do this, do that, implement that, do this, like it was step by step. And I thought, oh my God, this is my jam. This is what I needed. And then, I basically started for point one, and then I jumped from there, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll do some paid ads. And then I was like, oh, paid ads are like hard. And then I was like, I don't really get the whole funnel thing. And I was linking out some money, and John is like saying to me, have you tested your funnel? I'm like, no, what's a funnel? Anyway, so I went back to the beginning because I was like, oh, I've done the wrong thing here. And then I just did, launch jacking, really got good at it, did the video thing, really got good at doing the videos, and started to sort of understand more about the products that we're launching. Whereas in the beginning, when I don't know about you, Diane, but in my first like 10 maybe reviews, when I was like talking about the product, I was thinking to myself inside my head, what am I even talking about? Because I'm like, I don't even understand what it does. And I'm like pretending to go in, and I'm like, yes, that's there. Okay, let's get out of there. Because I'm like, I don't want to press any buttons. I might break something, or, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. And so, but then after a while, like 100 videos later, obviously I'm a bit of a whiz at it now. But, after like 20, 30 videos, I was like, oh, I'm really understanding what these products are, and how, how helpful they are, and how they shortcut this process and shortcut that process. Instead of having to like manually do it, you can actually just do it all on one dashboard and all that sort of stuff. And then I sort of thought to myself, I was like, right, well, I feel like I'm kind of nailing this. I've got some ads running. I'm making, things headway in the ads at the same time, because I was like sort of getting used to it. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll give it a little launch a dab, give that a go, give that a whirl. And so I was thinking, well, I need somebody to launch with. And I kind of had seen Nanda out in videos, and then John would be like, oh, Nanda's made another $1,000. And I'm like, who's this Nanda girl? I'm like, where is she? Where does she live? And so anyway, I hunted her down, started stalking her on Facebook. And I was like, Nanda. I'm like, I'm Paula-Maree. I live in Australia. I'm like, do you know, if you hadn't noticed, there's no girls who are like launching on Warrior Plus. I'm like, seems like a very male dominated industry here. Do you think we should shake things up a little bit? And she's like, I'm listening. Keep talking. and then Nanda and I started actually hanging out on Zoom calls like once a week, and then it went to twice a week, and then we started doing these recordings. They're like, just recordings of us talking about affiliate marketing. Like we knew everything, but we're just learning ourselves, but it was getting us ready. It was kind of like that stepping stone. Now I can kind of see to how we've progressed. And now, we've launched our seventh product is coming out, and our 8th is coming out in the same day. So, like that relationship obviously bloomed, and we had Kath who joined us as well. So it was like the 3 of us. And then we were like, right, let's launch a product. What are we going to launch? And then we were like, well, do you know, in 2021, domaining is a really big thing, you know? And then we were like, okay, well, let's buy some domains and see if we can sell them, you know? And so we did a course ourselves on like how to do domaining, and then started doing domaining. And then I mentioned this to Jono one day on a random call, and he was like, and the product was finished, and we'd submitted the product into the launch team and Ministry of Freedom, right? Like we were supposed to be doing, because this is the step-by-step process. We just followed the steps, right? And then we handed it in, and then we were like, we don't know what's happening. Nobody said anything to us for a couple of weeks. I'm like, don't worry, I'll go on Jono's call and I'll ask. I'll see what he says. And so he's like, you know, what's it about? I'm like, domain. He's like, oh, I'll get my mate Jamie Lewis or someone else to launch with you. Ping me later. And I remember thinking to myself, ping me? I'm like, what the heck is ping me? I had to look it up, actually. I had to Google it, because I was like thinking, I don't know what ping means. Like, so anyway, I worked out that meant, I think a ping me meant like just message me. Anyway, I messaged inside of Ministry of Freedom in the support tab. I said, Jono said that I should ping him. What does this mean? They went, no worries, we'll ping him for you now. I'm like, okay. And then next minute, I'm like, he's messaging me going, jump on a Skype call right now. I'm like, okay, I'm going on a Skype call with Jono, just us. And, you know, he asked a few questions, and then he was like, oh, let me just message Jamie now. And he messaged him, and then Jamie's like, yeah, I'm in. And then next minute, we were like all in a conversation together. And then next minute, we're all in a big meeting together. And then we're launching with Jamie Lewis, who is amazing. And yeah, that's what got us sort of going for our first launch. Obviously, we're very, very fortunate to be able to launch with Jamie. And then through that is what sort of like built our whole marketing and our brand that we developed. We kind of decided that we needed to have a brand. And then Jamie saying to us, you know, I just want to shake up, you know, Warrior Plus and make it exciting, you know, make it like, you know, have some fun. And then we're like, okay, we'll do that. And so that's how it all started with Golden Stash. And that was an amazing launch, you know, nearly very close to 1,000 units sold on our first launch, which was amazing. You know, and like $23,000 in revenue. And like, we were like, we made it. Oh my God. We're like, right, we've got to launch again. And Johnny's like, girls, you need to launch every single month. Get going. We're like, okay, Johnny. And so then that's what we did. So then the next launch we did, obviously we did it up by ourselves with Cleopatra. And I think we sold about 400 units on that one. And then we had Zenobia. Now Zenobia, she actually flopped a little bit. And so that was just over 100 sales. And then we had Xena that we launched, and she sold sort of around that 400-500 mark. And then we had Maeve, which was nearly 1,000 units as well. And now we have Atlantis about to launch, and we also have Asgard about to launch as well. So it's been really exciting. We've got all these beautiful students that we've been able to connect with, because everything in the courses actually works, right? But what we've done is that we try to tie in there something that's going to automate the process and make it a little bit easier, and then trying to hand, you know, like newbies or intermediate marketers that are maybe struggling to make a consistent income online, a business in a box, so that, that all they have to do is really just plug it in and play, and away they go, and they can get some results. So that's it in a nutshell. That's like how it all came about, right? And so I mean, obviously there's been a lot of, a lot of fun in between that, and, a lot of work, the odd sleepless night, where we've stayed up and we've been like, why is this not converting? Is it the headline? Is it the color? Is it the video? Did we say the wrong thing? What did we do? So it's been, an incredible learning curve. But now we literally have packaged everything that we learned with launching, right? And because we have all these Excel sheets that we work off and all these formulas that we work off as well, we've packaged it all into Asgard. So Asgard is about to be released inside of Atlantis, which is actually a course on how to have a successful launch with a spicy marketing campaign that it's actually going to get you noticed, So
like
yeah,
the mermaids. So tell me, how did you come up with the name Atlantis and these mermaids? It's brilliant.
Atlantis. Well, what normally happens whenever we're coming up with a name for our courses, right? Like typically we're sort of like thinking badass, queen, warrior, princess, sort of stuff. And that's where Maeve and Xena and Zenobia and Cleopatra come from, right? They're all badass queens or warriors, and, they've got strength and power and all that sort of stuff. And so those are the sort of things that appeal to us. In this particular course, we wanted to have something a little bit different, but still have that feminine element. And we'd played around with like a few different names, but I think what happened was, I think we were like 2 hours or 2.5 hours into like slogging it out, like coming up with these names and cracking up. I think I was actually still in my pajamas in bed in the morning, and Nanda was up late at night in her office, and we're like cracking up laughing, and we're like, what about this one? And we're like, and anyway, we keep going, because then we normally end up with a little list, and then we sort of dwindle it down, and then we were sort of like Atlantis, and then we were like, yeah, Atlanteans. Oh, stop it, mermaids. Who doesn't want to be a mermaid? We're like, oh, secretly that's like something that we wanted to do when we were like little girls,
Yeah.
So yeah. And then we were like,
it's like the princess of the sea, isn't it? A mermaid, a princess of the sea with the long locks.
Exactly. And it's a bit of a men's fantasy, I guess, too. So maybe we played a little bit on that. We were like, ooh, this is going to be spicy. And we have, because we're launching Asgard as well, we actually wanted to take a couple of people who are sort of a little bit established as affiliate marketers, but really haven't been able to break out and have success with launching. And so that's why we have Sid, and then we also have Jake, who are actually working alongside us. And so at the time when we did Atlantis, we had them in mind. We thought we can't really call it have it as a name for a badass warrior, princess, queen thing, because we're like, how's that actually going to go down with Sid and and Jake? Already they struggled with the whole Atlantean thing, and poor Sid is landlocked anyway, so there's no water around him. And even though we were like, oh, we'll just get a bucket of water and throw it on you, so but anyway, it was a bit of fun. And yeah, so that's how the name sort of came about. We're just having a bit of fun with it, and yeah, it worked out good, didn't it?
It did, yeah. So how can you advise people would love to get sales from product launches, but they don't quite do it the right way? So what's your top tip for a product launch? 3 top tips.
3 top tips, right? Well, tip number 1 really needs to be, don't launch by yourself, okay? Don't go it alone. You must go with a partner, right?
Yeah.
That's my tip number 1. Now, there's so many reasons for that. There's so much more power in 2 brains, all that sort of stuff. Like if you go it alone, I think that is a formula for disaster, really. 2 people, you're definitely going to have more success, because then if you think about it, you're going to have a bigger reciprocation as well. Like JV partners, there'll be both of you will have JV partners. You can bring them in together, affiliates, you know, people that you're friends with within the network of affiliate marketing. And also, two brains are always better than one, more creative, and you can push each other. And so that would be my biggest tip. Never, ever go it alone. Always go with a partner. Secondly, there's so much effort goes into creating the course. So much effort. I feel like 80% of launches that come, like people who are launching, 80% of their energy has gone into creating the course, right? Which is amazing. The course is brilliant, and only 20% on marketing. And really, it's the wrong way around. It's the wrong way around. It really should be 20% on the course, right? Because you can still make an amazing course, right? 20% on the course and 80% on the marketing and building relationships with other marketers. Because you can have, I mean, let's face it, guys, there's been courses that have been launched on Warrior Plus that have been nowhere near as good as these other courses that have been launched on Warrior Plus that are just amazing courses, right? But they flop. And it's because of the lack of marketing. You got to get noticed. So, you know, I say go in pairs of two, and then have a brand strategy, have a marketing strategy, you know. And thirdly, man, you've got to reciprocate. You've got to get on these leaderboards. Like Diane's just had a nice taste of going on a leaderboard, which is amazing. And like, I noticed her on there. I saw her on there. I'm like, oh, another girl. Yes. I'm like, I'm going to message her. That's why every time I see a girl on the leaderboard, I'm like, oh, I stalk her. I see who she is. I'm like,
oh, really?
Yeah. I'm like, another girl. Yes. So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I say reciprocation, it's really, really important. You got to build those relationships in the beginning. Like it is, you know, like obviously your power is less because you maybe don't have a big list or however you're doing it. But
so what's your top tip to find affiliates, for example?
Find affiliates?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll tell you a secret little tip, right? So I go on these leaderboards, right? And I go, who's on there? Right, let me see. Who do I keep seeing on there? Who's maybe not in the top 5? Because, you know, everybody knows who they are. Like,
yeah.
You know, they're super affiliates. We love them. We want to be friends with them. I still try and be friends. Some of them still, they probably don't know that I exist. Most of them are sort of like getting the gist that Nanda and I are here forever, you know, and that the digital dames are here and we're not going anywhere. We're going to spice up this Warrior Plus place and have lots of fun with everybody. But, you know, I go on these lists, right? And I have a little look and I go, oh, who's that? And I go, copy, paste into Facebook. I'm like,
right. And then you introduce yourself.
Well, sometimes I introduce, sometimes I just go, I'll just send a friend request, see if they accept it, you know, and or maybe I'll like something, or, you know, because it's a little bit like, you know, going to a party, right? You go to a party, you see people there, you know, you socialize, you're like, hi, you're not going to like ignore people, right? I mean, I look at the leaderboard, I'm like, look at this party here. I'm like, whoa, I want to be on this party. You know, the leaderboard is my party these days. I get excited when I see people on there and that I know and new people. So when I'm on it, you know, especially when I'm in the top 3, I get very excited. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of what I do. That's how I find affiliates. And then, yes, we do have a formula, like it's inside of Asgard, of course, on how we build those relationships, because there's no point in just mass tagging everybody you know and crossing your fingers and hoping that they're going to come to your launch. It's not going to happen like that, because you actually have to build a relationship with people, and it's way fun too, getting to know other people. Like I learnt about different names for doors today off a guy that I was talking to who's a super affiliate, right? And he's renovating his house, just bought a new house, renovating his house, and he's like, he didn't even know that that was the name of the door, and I was like, I didn't even know it was called that. So yeah, I mean, like, you know, you just talk about all sorts of things, just not just about affiliate marketing, like life, you know, because we're only here to make money so that we can live, right? So
yes, definitely.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Thank you so much for your time, Paula-Maree.
You're welcome.
It was really nice.
I'd love to do a little plug for Atlantis, if that's okay.
Yes, please do, because the link will be below, guys.
Yeah, so I think we're going to pop a link underneath this video here for Atlantis. So Atlantis is actually going live at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 30th of September. Now, Atlantis is a business in a box. And what we've done with all of our courses, right, is that we learn from each course that we put out there on the feedback that comes through to our support team, saying what students are finding easy and what students are not finding easy. So in this course, we've actually made some more modifications to make sure that it is super easy to follow. There's step-by-step guides, and also that there is a software in there, not one software, not two, but 3 powerful softwares. This is what Atlantis actually is. She's a software. And then we've also got the magic money page generator as well. That's really going to help you. So not only have we given you a solution for getting free traffic, right? But it's not slow. It's actually quite fast. I guess you would call it like hybrid traffic. So it's probably not as fast as paid traffic, but it's certainly not as slow as organic traffic. It's like hybrid in the middle. So you'll have this free flowing, like targeted traffic, right, that is coming to your money pages. And that's exactly what's inside of Atlantis. And then the upgrades, right? And upgrade 2 is Asgard. So if you do want to learn how to have a successful launch, then we actually have 3 options in there. So we wanted to give students 3 options, not just one. And, you know, either you can do done for you or done with you, or we can go 50-50. So there's an option for us to guide you, and you keep all the profits, you keep all the subscribers. And then there's an option where we sort of go 50-50. And then there's another option where we hold your hand a little bit, but we're there, but we're, you know, so anyway.
Isn't there some live training as well?
Yes, there's live training, mastermind sessions. There's the course itself that you can follow at any time, 24/7. And plus, also, I forgot to say, it's actually in its beta stage. So we're only taking 15 students, and then we're cutting it off. We're going to be working with those 15 students to make sure that they have successful launches, right? Because that's the point here, and sustainable businesses that they will have for life.
So how many of those places are left?
Well, I know. See, it hasn't even launched yet, and already Messenger, because everybody seems to message me on Messenger has been going crazy. Like people are like, oh, what do you get? Like they're wanting to know more details. Or obviously the sales page is going to come out. It's going to have all the detail. You'll be able to listen to the VSL, the video sales letter that's going to be on there, when Andrew and I are talking you through everything. So hopefully we'll try our best to answer all your questions. And yeah, that's Asgard. So there's my plug.
Okay, guys. But when you buy with me, I'll be doing my bonus video a bit later on, because I've got some excellent bonuses for you. And thank you so much for your time, Paula.
Diane, my pleasure. Absolutely loved it. Thanks again for getting up so early. And sorry we had that little technical hiccup. See, everybody has technical hiccups. You just got to get over it, you know, and move on.